Hello everyone, my name is Ashish and welcome to the Xadmin channel. So today in this lecture we are going to implement the Spring Security to the API using database connection, and we'll see how to authenticate the credentials from database using Spring Boot and Spring JPA. And guys, apart from this we will also see how to encrypt the password using password encoder. So guys, in my like the previous lecture I have already covered the Spring Security to the URL base, and there we have hard coded the username and the password in the application properties file. Alright, and guys, in this lecture we will get the credential from the database and we will try to validate that. Alright, so let's start the development. So guys, first of all I am going to create a Spring Boot application by taking the help of a Spring Initializer. So this is by like a Maven project. Here is Spring Boot 2.3.2 I am using. So let's add a group here. Alright, let's provide artifact name Spring Security database. Alright, yeah, package name is fine. So guys, packaging I am going to keep as a jar, and Java 8 I am going to use. And now guys, I will add the dependencies. So first of all I will add Spring Wave, I will add Spring Data JPA. Alright, I will add the Spring Security. Alright, I will add Dev Tool. Alright, and guys, for the database I will add like the MySQL driver. So guys, Spring Wave, Spring Data JPA, Spring Security, and the Spring Data Dev Tool. Alright, and guys, for the database I am using MySQL driver. Alright, so these are the dependencies I am adding to this project. So let's generate our project. So guys, our project will be downloaded in a GIF format, so we need to extract it and then we need to import to our Eclipse. So we have downloaded, so let's extract it. Let's go to our Eclipse, and here we need to import the project. So provide the path directory. Alright, so this is my project, so just open it and finish it. So guys, we have successfully imported this Spring Security database in our Eclipse. Alright, so now guys, you can see that we are updating, and alright, so project is updated. Alright, and now guys, I am going to create all the packages which we are going to use. So let me copy this package. Let's create a package. So guys, the first package I will create a model package. So guys, inside the model package we will create model classes. Alright, so next package I will add as a controller, in which guys we will add controller class. Next package I will add the repository. Finish this. Next package I will add service package. Finish. So next package I am going to add as a config package. Alright, so these are the packages I have added to my project. Alright, and now guys, I am going to create the model class. So guys, I am going to create the user class, and guys, the user will contain the information like user ID, username, password, and the email. Alright, so inside the model class model package, let's create a class with the name user. finish this. So this is our user class. So mark this class as an entity class to make this as an entity. All right. So guys, it will create the table with the name user inside our MySQL database. So guys, here the user class has the following properties like private int user ID. All right. It has a username of a string return type, data type. All right. It has a password. It has an email. So these are the information we have added to our user model class: user ID, username, password, and email. All right. So guys, here I want that user ID should be auto generated, and guys, it should be a primary key. So let me mark this with the ID annotation for the primary key, and let me mark this with the generated value to generate the ID automatically. All right. So now guys, I am going to create the constructor. So let's generate the constructor. Select all, generate, and here I will generate a default constructor also. Deselect all, generate. All right. I will remove the super. All right. So let's generate the getter and the setter methods. So generate getters and the setters, select all and generate. All right. So these are the configurations I have added to my user model, and guys, I have added this as entity class so that it is going to create a table with the name user inside our MySQL database, and user ID is a primary key, and also it is a auto generated. All right. And now guys, I am going to add the configurations inside our application.properties file, and the configurations like the MySQL database configuration. All right. So guys, let me write the configuration and then I will explain you. Alright guys, I have added the configurations like MySQL driver configurations, and here you can see that Spring Data Source driver class name is com.mysql JDBC driver, and we have the URL like JDBC MySQL localhost, and guys, here I am using the default port, that is 3306, and my database name is auth. Alright, and we have the username as root, and guys, this is my password. And guys, here I am adding some Hibernate configurations, like I want that to show the SQL, so true, and the DDL auto is update. All right. And guys, here I am using Hibernate dialect as MySQL 5 dialect, and the format SQL is true. So these are the configurations I have added to my application.properties file, and this is related to the MySQL driver configuration and also the configuration related to the Hibernate. All right. So now guys, I am going to create the user repository. So let's go to our here the repository folder, and here I will create one more class with the name user repository. All right. So finish this. So guys, this is the user repository. So guys, it should be a interface, so change it. All right. So guys, user repository is interface, and I will extend this interface with the JPA repository. All right. So here guys, we have to pass our entity class, let's say user, and our ID, the primary data type is like integer. All right. So we have to import user with the correct package, model package. All right. So this is our like a repository interface in which I am extending with a JPA repository. So guys, all the CRUD operations will be handled by this JPA repository. So now guys, I'm going to create a controller for the REST endpoints. So let's go to the controller package and here create a class. So let's create a admin controller with the name admin controller, and guys, inside this controller I am going to write a endpoint which is going to add the add the user data in the database. All right, and guys, here I will not use any Spring Security to add any user data to the database. We will directly add the user data to the database. So guys, first of all I will mark this with the REST controller. All right, so let's provide a request mapping, and let's provide the URL. So I will keep URL as secure or just secure auth. All right, and now guys I am going to create the endpoint to add the user object to the database. So let's create a method add user by, all right, add user. So here guys here we have to take the user object from the request body. So for that guys, let's say user, so import with the correct model class, and here we will use @request body to get the user object from the request header. All right, so let's add a return statement, and now guys I am going to take the password from the request object. All right, so user dot get password. All right, and I will store this in a string. So guys, I took a password from the request header object. All right, and I have stored in a pwd variable string. And now guys, what I will do, let's string encrypted. So now guys I am going to call a password encoder. All right, so first of all I have to inject the password encoder. So private password encoder. So let's name this as a password encoder. All right, so guys, with this password encoder, all right, with this password encoder I am going to call the encode method, and here I am going to pass our pwd variable in which we have stored the password from the request header. All right, so let's store this in a encrypted pwd variable. All right, and now guys I am going to set the password to the user. So guys here guys, it is going to encode the password. All right, and guys here it is going to encode the password. So now we need to set the password to the user object. So let's use the user object to set the password. Let's call set password, and here we can pass encrypted pwd. All right, so guys here we are taking the password from the request body and then we are encoding that password, and now guys we return this password in a encrypted form string, and then we are setting in, it means we are saving this password to the password key of the user model. All right, and now guys we will call the save method of the user repository. So guys, let me add this auto var, and now guys I need to inject the user repository here. So let user repository Alright, user repository TORY. Alright, so let's annotate this with the AutoWire. So guys, I will call the save method with this user repository. So save, and here I will pass my user object. So guys, it will save the user to my MySQL database. Alright, and here I will return a dummy string after adding the data to the database. So user added successfully. Alright, so guys, I have passed a dummy string. So let me mark this with the post mapping, and let's provide some URL like admin and add. Alright, so guys, I have created an endpoint to add a user data to the database. Alright, and now guys, I am going to create one more controller, and guys, this controller will get the data from the database, and guys, here we will apply the Spring security. Alright, so let's create a controller. Application controller. Alright, finish this. So let's make this as a REST controller. Alright, and now guys, I am going to create a endpoint. So let's create a endpoint, public string process. So let's return a string. Pass the Spring security through DB. Alright, so this is the dummy string I am returning. So let's add a request mapping to this, and here I will provide the URL as REST auth. Alright, so let's put a get mapping here. So let's put the URL like process. Alright, so guys, I have created one more endpoint, and here we are just returning a dummy string like pass the Spring security through DB. Alright, so this is our one more controller in which I have created one more like endpoint with the URL process. Alright, so now guys, I am going to create our config class. So let's create our config class, a security config class. So guys, I am going to create this inside our config package. User, so let's add the name as a security config. Alright, finish this. So let's mark this class with the @configuration. And guys, I want to enable the Spring security. For that I have to enable wave security. Alright, and also I will annotate this with a enable like a global. So global like a global method security, and here I will pass pre-post enabled equals to true. Alright, And now guys, I am going to write a method. So guys, we have to extend this config class with a web security configure adapter. So let's extend this with the web security web security configure adapter, this one. All right. So now guys, I am going to override the configure method. So guys, I am going to override the configure method with the parameter authentication manager builder auth. So let's remove the auto generated things. And guys, inside this I am going to call the password encoder. So auth dot user detail service. All right. In this guys, and now guys, I am going to inject the user detail service here. All right. So let me inject the user detail service. All right. So user detail service, let me mark this with a auto add. So let's pass this reference variable inside our user detail service argument. All right. And here I will pass the call a password encoder, and here I will call the, so here guys, now guys, I am going to create one more method. All right. So guys, we have to add this method because guys, we are using the Spring Boot 2.0 versions. All right. So that's why we have to add encoder. All right. So we have to override the encode pwd method. So let me write public bcrypt password encoder and the method encode pwd. All right. So let's return the new bcry password encoder. All right. So let's mark this method with the bean. So let's pass this method inside our password encoder. All right. So this is the configurations you have to do to enable the Spring security. All right. So this is a method. Call this method from inside our password encoder. All right. And now guys, I am going to override one more method to add a Spring security to the URL base. So now guys, I am going to implement the Spring security for the URL. So guys, I will override the configure method, and guys, here I will take argument with the HTTP security HTTP. All right. So let me remove all these automated things. Now guys, first of all, I will disable the CSRF. So HTTP dot CSRF, all right, dot disable. And now guys, I am going to add a Spring security to the particular URL type. So HTTP dot authorized request, all right, dot ant match. So guys, here I am using the ant matcher, and here I have to pass the URL type. Like I want the URL starting with the REST. I want to apply the Spring security to the URL starting with the REST. All right. So let's add authentication authenticated, and I want to the any request, and then permit all, and dot form login. All right. Form login to display our Spring Boot login page. All right. So this is the configuration code I have written to authenticate the ent manager, like we have to pass the URL type. So guys, I want to apply the Spring Security to the endpoints which have the URL starting with the REST. All right, and I want the Spring Security to the any request, permit all, and the login page is form login, because I want the default login page of our Spring Boot. All right, so I have overridden the configure method, and I have applied the Spring Security to this particular URL. All right, and now guys, I am going to create a custom user detail inside our service package. So this is our service package. So let's create a class with the name custom user detail. All right, let's finish this. So now guys, I am going to create the user. So guys, it has the property like the user. All right, so let me import with the model class. So here, and one more thing guys, so guys, this is our custom user detail. So we have to implement this with the user detail of a Spring Security. All right, so user detail of the Spring Security interface. So guys, it is saying to add unimplemented method. So guys, we have to override all this method, like, all right. So guys, here, so guys, I have overridden all the methods. All right, and now guys, I am going to create a getter and the setter method for our user property. So let's add a getter and the setter method, select all, generate. So guys, I have added, let me format this class. Yeah, so guys, we have added getter and the setter, and we have overridden all the unimplemented methods. All right, so guys, so here guys, you can see that we have a method like the grant authority. So, and guys, we have a get password, so we have to pass the password here. So user dot get password. All right, and we have the get username, so return user dot get username. All right, is account not expired, let mark this as a true. And is accounted not logged, true. Is credential not expired, true. All right, is enable, mark this as a true, return true. All right, and in this it is fine. And here guys, I don't want to override this the grant authority, because guys, here I am not showing you the role based authentication in this lecture. All right, so this is why I have returning null. So guys, I have created a custom detail. Why it is showing, oh, add serial ID, no problem. All right, so now guys, I am going to create one more like a class with the custom user detail service class. So let me add one more class inside our service package. Custom user detail service. All right, custom user detail service. So mark this with the annotation as a service to make this a service class. All right, and we have to guys, we have to implement this class with the user detail service of the Spring Security. All right, user detail service of the Spring Security. So guys, we have to add the unimplemented methods. So let's override this method load by username. All right, so guys, inside this we have to write our implementation. All right, so guys, first of all, I am going to, so guys, here I am going to fetch the user object with the username from the database using the repository. So for that I have to inject the repository first. So let me inject the repository first. Private user repository. All right, repository TORY. Let mark this with the auto wire. All right, and now guys, with the help of this repository I am going to get the object of the user from the database. All right, so dot find all method. So let's use find by username. All right, find by username, and inside this we have to pass the username. All right, so guys, if you will see that this method is not present inside our repository, so let's create this method inside our repository. All right, so guys, we have created. So guys, this is void type. So guys, it should not be void, it should be user, because it is returning the user object. All right, so config detail, custom detail, yes. And now guys, I am going to store this to the user object here. Import this to the model. All right, and now guys, so guys, here it is going to get the user object from the database. So guys, it is calling the database by the help of the repository, user repository, by the find by username method. And guys, this is the custom method to fetch according to the username. So guys, it is going to take the username, and according to the username it is going to find the user object in the database, and then guys, it is going to return us, and we are storing in a user object. All right, so now guys, I am going to check if the user is null or not. So guys, the user should not be null. So user not null. So guys, if the user is not null, then inside this I am going to create the object of the custom user detail class. So new custom user detail class. All right, and this I am going to store inside our user details. So guys, before that I have to create the a reference variable of the custom detail class. So let's copy this user detail, let's copy this. All right, and let me assign a null here. All right, so guys, I have created a reference variable of a custom user detail, and I am storing a new object of the custom user detail class to the user detail. And with this user detail I am going to call a set user method to set the user inside our user detail class, and here I am passing my user. So guys, if the user is not null, then guys, it is going to create the object of the custom user detail, and with that object it is going to call the set method to set the user to that class. All right, so guys, the main function of this method to get the user from the database with the help of the username, and then I want that user to set inside my user of the user detail class. And guys, if let's say that if the user is null, all right, so let's say that if the user is null, then we have to write our else statement, and inside this guys, I am going to throw an exception like throw new username not found exception. All right, and guys, inside this I am going to pass the message like user not exits with the name. All right, and let me add the name like the user name. All right, so we have the n in a small, yeah, now it's fine. So let me throw throw new username exception. All right. So let me throw this to this method label. Yeah, it is throwing already. I think spelling is mistake. Let me copy this. Yeah, now it's fine. All right. And now guys you can see that if the user is not null, then guys it is setting that user to the user detail class, and if the user is null, then it means that user does not exist with the name inside our database. All right. So here we need to return our user detail object of the custom user detail class. So this is the code we have to write inside our load user by username. All right. So guys, inside this you can see that I have just call. So guys, this method is to take the object from the database with the help of the username, and with this user, if the user is not null, then guys it is going to set to the user detail. So actually the main function of this method to get the user from the database and set it to the user detail class. All right. So guys, we have added, so we have the custom details also now. All right. So guys, I think we are done with our implementation. So let me save all these classes. All right. So here guys, I'm going to start the application. So run as a Java application. So guys, if everything goes well, it should start on port number 8080. So here we can see that entity manager factory. All right. So guys, we have some problem inside our pom.xml. Let's go to our pom.xml, and guys, here you can see that we are getting a release 2.3.2. so guys, we are getting some error in this 2.3.2 version of the Spring Boot. So here I will use 2.3.1. all right. So let's save this. So again, I want to start my application. Run as a Java application. All right. So guys, our application is started at the port number. All right, at the port number 8080. So now guys, I will add some data to my database. So let's go to my the MySQL workbench. So guys, I will show you that our table should be created. So let's check the table. So guys, we have a user table created. All right. So let's check the content. So guys, we don't have any data. Now we have the column like user ID, email, password, and username. So let's go to the Postman and add some user object inside our MySQL database. So here I will use localhost 8080. all right. So let me check the URL. So let's go to our controller, admin controller. So guys, inside this we have a secure auth as a request mapping, and then we have a admin add, and we have to use post method. All right. Secure auth admin add, secure admin secure auth, and the admin add. all right. So we have to take this as a post method, and inside the body we have to pass the information of the user in a form of a JSON. So guys, here if you will see that, let me go to the user model class, and here if you see that I am generating the user ID already automatic. So let me add username, password, and the email to my object. Username. So let's check the username as a xadmin. all right. let's pass the password. So guys, I will keep the password as a xadmin. All right, so let's pass the email. xadmin@gmail.com. all right, so this is the password. So guys, this is the email I am going to add to my database. So this is the request object of the user. Inside this we have a username, password and the email. all right, and we have a post method. So let's hit this request. So guys, you can see that we are getting the message as a user added successfully. So let's go to our MySQL workbench and let's check that whether it has been added or not. So guys, you can see that we have a user ID with a 10 and the email ID and the password. So guys, here you can see that our password is encoded format. all right, so guys, our password is saving in an encoded format, because guys, if you will see in our spring configure file, let's go to the spring configure file, and here guys, you can see that we are calling a password encoder here. all right, and guys, let's go to our controller. So admin controller. So here guys, you can see that we are taking the password from the from the user object, and then we are calling a password encoder.encode method to encode a password in a certain string, okay, encrypted string. And guys, this encrypted string we are setting to the user object, and this we are saving. So that's why we are saving this in a encrypted string. all right, so guys, in this lecture we have also seen how to encode a user in a encrypted form to our database. all right, and now guys, you can see that I have added an object. So let me add one more object, Ashish. all right, username, password Ashish, and email like Ashish. So let me hit the post method. So guys, we have added successfully, and now guys, what I will do, I will show you. So all right, now guys, I have added the username and the password to my database. So now guys, I am going to hit the other URL, like the endpoint of the application controller here, REST auth and the process, and guys, it will show a Spring Security login page. And if we will put the correct username and the password, then guys, it is going to fetch from the database, and guys, it is going to authenticate. If the username and the password we have entered is matched with the username and the password contained in the database, then guys, it is going to pass the Spring Security, and guys, it is going to fetch this dummy string. all right, so we have a URL as REST auth and process. So let's go to our Chrome, REST auth and process. So let's hit this. So guys, here you can see that we got a login page. all right, so guys, I'm going to enter a wrong password and the username and password. So let's test and test. So let's see that. So guys, here you can see that we are getting a error like a bad credential. Now guys, I am going to add the correct password as a xadmin, and the password is also xadmin. So let me hit the sign in button. So guys, you can see that we passed the Spring Security and we got the dummy string as a response in our browser. So it means that guys, we have successfully enabled the authentication by using the database. So guys, it is going to authenticate the username from the database. So guys, as we enter the username and the password in our like a login page, and inside that guys, it has gone to the database, and guys, it has checked the username and the password from the database. If it matches, then only guys, it passes and it gives the response, the dummy string in my response. all right, so guys, in this lecture we have learned the two things. We have learned that how we can encode the password, and we can store the encoded string password in our database, and also we have learned how to authenticate the Spring Security with the help of the database. Alright, so guys, this is all about this lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.